Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Brendan, and here we teach that what you are thinking feelingly and imagining throughout your day is creating your physical experience. Now, today I kind of want to dig into mental diet. If you're like me, you know it's one of the most important aspects of the process because if you're not letting your conscious mind be the watchman at the gate, meaning if you're not ensuring that nothing gets into the feeling nature of the subconscious mind unless it's in alignment with your ideal, nothing, then you are not going to realize your aim. As we know, Earl Nightingale said in The Strangest Secret, we become what we think about. So if you're manifesting something, you're imagining it night after night, or however you like to manifest it, then you need to also do the mental dieting, right? You can't just be imagining it for 15 minutes and then the rest of your day, whenever it pops into your mind, you're wanting it, desiring it, needing it, wondering where it is, maybe getting worried about it, fearful about it. Any of these thoughts that are in alignment with not having, right? These thoughts, these feelings, these imaginings that imply that you don't have it. And we know, as Neville Goddard said, the power of every imaginal act that includes any thoughts, any feelings, is in its implication. Okay, so what are you implying by how you're thinking? And if it's not implying that you already have here and now what you want, then you are kind of taking steps backwards, or at least you're stopping in your tracks and not moving towards the physical manifestation of your aim, whatever it is. Learn to be stern with yourself, okay? Learn to not allow it. If you're feeling something, if you're going through a situation, maybe you're triggered by 3D, honor those feelings. Let yourself experience the emotions, but beyond that, don't spiral, all right? Be in control of your thinking. Don't make it a choice, all right? Every time you catch yourself, and it may be a lot at first, you're going to realize that whatever state that has been your dwelling place, whether it's poverty, whether it's loneliness, whatever it is, implying that you don't have your desire fulfilled, if it's something that you've been thinking about often, longingly, or negatively, or from a state of not having, then you're going to have to break the habit of thinking that way. So, of course, at first, it may feel like maybe even every 5 minutes or every minute, you're going to have to correct your thinking, but it gets easier. It gets easier. The more that you notice and you say, oh, nope, that thought, that feeling, that imagining that I was doing is not in alignment, let me now correct it. Don't put it off till later. Don't ignore it, okay? Correct it right then and there. And do your best to do it in a way that isn't going to cause resistance. So you can choose an affirmation, you can choose imagining a scene. If you're out and about, it may be harder to visualize something. So maybe pick a simple affirmation like, it is done. That way, it's not anything that's going to bring up resistance. A lot of people experience resistance when they say affirmations like, I'm a millionaire, when the bank account doesn't reflect that. So you pick something that doesn't mention what you want specifically so that you can simply just relax about it. Saying it is done, you know what you mean, and therefore the subconscious already knows everything, right? It's constantly recording your every thought, feeling, imagining, impression. So you don't have to worry about if saying it is done without being specific about whatever it is that you're trying to manifest actually coming, or if the subconscious will be confused, okay? It knows exactly what you want. Every time you have any feeling, thought, opinion about anything, it could be about the temperature in the room, it automatically records that and knows what you want, okay? So you don't have to worry about if you're impressing it right or what is the perfect scene to let the subconscious know. No, whatever you're visualizing, affirming, scripting, all that, all these techniques, anything anyone gives you is just to inspire the feeling within you. Something to help you feel more attached to imagination, the reality, capital R of imagination, than the physical experience, okay? Because that's the biggest mix-up. We're so identified with the physical experience that we're trying to convince ourselves that imagination is reality. But instead, try to lovingly accept the idea that imagination is reality. What a gift it is. What a blessing it is that no matter what you're going through physically, you can actually imagine whatever you want as being true, and in doing so, it is actually true. It may not immediately appear in physicality, but physicality is just an illusion. Imagination is the reality, the true reality, and it is yourself. It is God. It is the subconscious, the infinite, whatever you want to call it. Try to lovingly accept that idea because it's a gift given by grace, okay? You don't have to work for it. Everyone has the gift of imagination, but it's up to you how you will use it. So practice a mental diet. Be sure that whatever you're thinking, feelingly, imagining throughout the day, no matter the time, no matter the place, turn off the news if you have to, okay? Don't allow yourself to listen to negative news about the economy if you're focusing on your money mindset. Someone who's truly abundant would be unmoved by the economy, so it wouldn't even come into mind, all right? Or someone who is already in a loving relationship would not look with jealousy upon others who have their ideal relationship, right? You would just think, wow, that reminds me of the wonderful love I already have in the reality of imagination. So don't put it off. Don't wait. Don't be complacent and see something in your physical world and tell yourself, I will be this or that. No, you are it now, and you always have been it. Okay? God's name is I am. It is not I will be. So don't act like it's not already true. Some people feel like good enough saying I will be, and maybe you will be, but you're going to get impatient if it ends up taking a while. You know, everything has its own appointed hour, and it's going to come much, much faster the better you're able to keep your mind in alignment with knowing not that you will be, but that you are it now. It's a fact. It's not up for debate. It's not for the mind to say, but it's never, no, it has. No, you can completely detach from your old story, from what you think has always been true, and know that you are already whatever you desire and you always have been it. Completely detached from your former identity. That former identity with the old story of struggle, with whatever concept, with whatever desire, it's taken a long time. No, you can completely let that go. That is not your story anymore. You can reimagine your story now to be in alignment with who you already are now because you've always had what you want. You've always been beautiful. You've always been rich. You've always done well with relationships and friends. Always. Okay? Because sometimes your attachment to those old stories is your attachment to the state of victimhood. Okay? And we're not victims. You choose. What will you be? And you say, I am this, I am that. So as long as you're still saying, I am the person who's always struggled, then you're perpetuating that story. Completely disidentify with it. That is not you. You've always had what you want. You have it right now. Isn't it wonderful? Now how do you want to feel? Now what do you want to do? You don't have to do anything physically or try in any way to get whatever it is that you desired or to be whatever it is that you desired. You already have it. So now what? Now how do you feel? Isn't it wonderful? So remember that whenever you begin to slumber, thinking feelingly on that old story, it doesn't exist. It's not you anymore. Someone else whom it serves is occupying that state, okay? Another aspect of consciousness, but it's not you anymore. So wake up. You find yourself thinking feelingly, or as you would call it, remembering. Really, it's just imagining. You call it remembering the old story when things were so bad, things were so hard. Completely wake yourself up because you are falling asleep. You're falling back into these states. You need to make it your dominant state of mind. Okay? Make it your dwelling place, your natural state of mind to know that you are that person you desire to be and you always have been. So say you're having trouble, you're looking at 3D that is completely opposite from what you want. Just go within, make it easy. You don't have to be too crazy about it, but be stern and don't let your mind dwell on it. You can say, whatever happens physically, that's okay because I know who I am. And I am is everything you desire to be and it always has been. So knowing that, you don't have to worry about what the physical looks like for any reason. You can say, isn't it wonderful that's not me? Isn't it wonderful I know who I am? Right? And be centered in the idea that your I amness, your own consciousness, your beingness is already everything you could possibly desire and it always has been. And I'm not saying that you have to talk to people about this, okay? You don't have to go around lying. Just handle conversations normally, speak to people normally, but then afterwards reimagine that conversation. You know, shift yourself into the reality where the conversation was from the premise of your desire fulfilled. Okay? You don't have to lie to try and make it so. As Jesus said, get into your closet to pray, right? So internally, it doesn't mean you literally get into a closet. It means that within yourself, shutting the world out. Internally, this is your mindset. And with it, you will reprogram your mind by changing reaction after reaction to response after response of knowing who you are, and thus knowing also who you are not. You are not the 3D, you are your ideal now. Okay? And rest easy knowing that God, the subconscious, the infinite of the universe, which is not separate from you, it's just something that's not in your current scope of awareness, being individualized. God sees you as already having whatever it is that you desire, or already being whoever it is you desire to be. So when you're sitting there saying you don't have it, feeling out of alignment, you seem delusional. You seem like a crazy person because they're looking down on 3D from above, recognizing that even though you already have what you want, for some reason, which is just the physical, just a mirror, just the illusion, you're choosing not to identify with it. You're choosing not to feel that you already have it. Correct your thinking. Know that you already have it. Align your perception with the infinite perception above 3D, with God, with the universe, with the infinite, because you know from that perspective that you already have it. You are not limited. You don't have to believe what the senses tell you. Because if you're believing only in the world of the senses, then you are delusional. A lot of people call this manifestation stuff. They say you have to be delusional. Well, you have to be radically faithful to imagination. And when you know that imagination is the reality, then true delusion is identifying with 3D, identifying with the mirror, identifying with this illusion, okay? That's why Neville Goddard said, leave the mirror alone, step away from it and change your face. There's no one and nothing to change but self. So if something in your world is not in alignment, know that it's not you and define who you are and identify with it as your ideal now. So I'm sure you found this helpful. If you're interested in joining the private community or seeing what I have to offer, check out bwmanifesting.com. I'll leave a link somewhere in the description or the pinned comment. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time. Take care.